Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings. I don't think you've heard the news yet, have you, Graham?
What news, darling?
Harry lost his court case, and no matter how his fans and subscribers and The Guardian like to label it, he lost. In my opinion,
The one in London.
one of the ones, one of the many.
One where he said he just had a feeling, but I can't prove it.
No
surprises there.
No, it's not that one.
It's not that one.
It's not that one. It's a different one. There's so many of them.
Oh, the guy likes spunking money away, doesn't he? Like he's never earned it. Anyway.
Before any sugars start and say I'm a Daily Mail reader, I'm getting this information. I have read the BBC, I have read the Guardian, who are total cheerleaders of Prince Harry. The Daily Mail, I haven't seen do an article on it, or the Mirror. And I haven't looked at the Sun. Let's start with the Guardian headline, shall we? Which makes it sound like he's had a victory, which he has not. Not in my opinion. The Guardian headline is, Prince Harry's lawsuit against Sun publisher can go to trial, judge rules. Right? It's very interesting PR how they put spins on these things. Because that is true. That is true. Part of his case can go to trial. Not the part he wanted, but let's put a pin in that for a minute. I don't want to sound too gleeful, but there is one particular bit I really like. Judge Fancourt. This is the lawsuit against the Sun, NGN. There are also lawsuits that the Mirror, and all that going on all over phone hacking. Right. The judge said that it's too late for the phone hacking and other things, because he said you would have known at the time, you did know at the time about the News of the World phone hacking. I mean, nobody could not have known. It was all over the blooming news in the UK. And he said all Harry would have had to do is make basic inquiries. I think that's perfect. Basic inquiries. That just sums up Harry, really, doesn't it? Basic thoughts. Can Harry make basic inquiries? I'm beginning to think no, not. He's not capable of even that. And let's not forget, this is Meghan. We all know this is Meghan who urged him to leap forth into all these horribly expensive lawsuits. Like what changed? 2019, what changed in Harry's life? He hadn't thought about this for like 20 odd years. Oh yeah, that's right, Meghan came along and got the knock about something. I forget what now, because she gets the knock about. I reckon that girl was born knocky. Knocky, by the way, for anyone who's not British. I don't know if you do say that in America or Australia, but getting the knock means you're angry. You're pissed off about something.
You say eggy in the
Oh, you say eggy, do you? No, we don't.
Eggy.
We say getting the knock in the south. The judge, and I will quote this, secret agreement not plausible or credible. Now, the secret agreement he's talking about is Harry's claim that there was a secret agreement between William and various newspapers, and they all settled out at court, all behind Harry's back, and told Harry he couldn't do anything or whatever. I can't remember what his garbled story. The judge said, it is quite clear there was never any such agreement, and it is only the Duke who has ever asserted there was. Now, that's the bit I really love, because basically what Judge Fancourt is saying to Harry is, you are the same as everybody else. Your word is not evidence, which I think that's the nub of it. That's where Harry has really fallen foul. He believes in his own invincibility, his own royal magical powers so much that he believes he can stand up in a court of law and declare something is a fact without an ounce of additional evidence, that his word is evidence. Do you see what I mean? I think I'm trying to get into the psyche of Harry.
Divine right.
Yeah, divine intervention, divine right. I mean, we have a royal family in the United Kingdom, and I know, yeah, there's anointments and stuff, but me personally, we are all equal in God's eyes. All animals, all humans, everybody. I don't believe that there are any people on planet Earth who have magical abilities, apart from Dynamo. Oh, he was good, wasn't he? Whatever happened to him? I used to love him walking on water on the Thames. How the hell did he do all that and like disappearing? Anyway, I digress. Now, the part he's allowed to take is nothing to do with phone hacking. It's to do with whether the publishers used private detectives to follow him. And all the judges said is you have the right to go to trial. So he can take that to trial. My advice would be, Harry, quit while you're ahead. Get the hell out of this at any cost. To get it, because it's going to be at any cost if you take this nonsense any further. I used to have a private detective agency when I was in Brighton. I gave it up in the end because it was very, very depressing. It was mostly matrimonial, and the clients were very tearful, upset because they thought their partners were cheating on them. Sometimes they were, sometimes they weren't. There was one particular case that I remember that I think that was really the case where I said, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm stopping this. I followed this spouse, and the poor guy, all he was doing was going and sitting on a bench in a park with a bag of chips for about 3 hours just to escape his paranoid and, in my opinion, rather unpleasant wife. I mean, she was really quite awful. And it was just sad. It was so sad to see from her, for him, the misery that they were both in. And I just thought, I just can't. Oddly enough, when I was on the run, Graham and I did have another little dabble at it, and we did catch the guy. We caught him it was here in Spain. He was going to the Los Lagos down the river here, which is, it's a brothel. Very, very well known. Yeah, and his poor wife, and she was a multi-millionairess, and I do believe she ate him alive in the divorce courts. I do feel kind of bad about that. That was the other part of it, you know, even when you catch them, you just feel awful. So it's not a trade that I'd ever recommend to anybody to get into. But is it illegal? Well, I don't know. I mean, I never really looked into the illegalities, because the people I was following, they never knew. They had no idea that I was there, or... I wouldn't actually have thought, that's a good question for Black Belt Barrister, is hiring a private detective to follow somebody, is that illegal? Is it maybe immoral? But as Wally said in one of her videos the other day, the difference between being moral and being legal, they're massive, massive differences. I mean, you'll know I studied law. That's the first thing they do with a law student, is they sit down and say, the law and morals. All students have to write an essay on the law and morals, and that in an ideal world, yes, the law should be moral, but frequently it's not. It's not at all. Anyway, again, I'm digressing. The Sun publisher, the spokesperson for the Sun, called it a significant victory. Yes, it is. It is significant. I bet the people at the Mirror group, I bet they're like this. I wonder how David Sherborne is feeling right now. Guilty, maybe? Guilty for taking advantage, possibly? In my opinion, I think, yeah, he's taken advantage. I think quite a few people have taken advantage of Harry. Poor old Windsor. He should never have been led up this garden path. I had a quick look at Omid Scobie's Twitter feed and his supporters, and a lot of them are saying, we're proud of you, Harry, because you stood up to someone even if you lost. You proved that you can stand up to people. Well, yeah, that's all very well and good, and I do get on the sentiment of what they're saying, but this will have cost Harry grey hairs, stress, worry. Trust me, my advice is always to people, if you can avoid suing anybody, even if you think you've got a slam dunk case, avoid at all costs. Go to arbitration, go to mediation. You actually get good brownie points in court at an ultimate trial. I mean, I just can't see what trial in January over obtaining information by illicit means. I mean, how the hell is he going to prove it? What is that? It's a load of them going to stand up written confessions and stuff? I don't think so. And I think this may be the first of many, many blows, legal blows. I bet Harry's sitting there right now thinking, whatever happened to Judge Warby? And actually, I was thinking that too, Harry, just a few moments ago. Oh, Warby. I bet he feels a right plonker now. Been played like a fiddle. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for listening, and I will look forward to reading your comments and free speech below. And quick update on Graham, for anyone who doesn't know, he's got ever such a tiny weeny infection, so his treatment has been delayed to Monday and Tuesday, in case you're all wondering. Have a fabulous day, everybody, and thank you very much for listening.